What could have been? Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Today, let's take a look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective Marvel's Iron Fist. It seems like I don't get a chance to review Mezco figures as much as I'd like to. They just seem to drop right in the middle of when all the other stuff comes in. One of the things about reviewing a Mezco figure is that I can show you everything it does, the positives, the negatives, and if you decide that you do want it, they're usually sold out. They're usually long gone. But for Iron Fist, I can't help it. It's one of those that I put on pre-order and then completely forgot about. I put it out of my head because I was excited. In fact, it's so far out of my head, I haven't flipped this box around to remember what it actually comes with. That's how long it's been since this was solicited and how much mental control I have. What was I doing? Looking at the package, it's that big old box that we're used to when it comes to the 1/12 Collective, at least standard editions. That pale green and yellow, that's my favorite color when it comes to Iron Fist. The Iron Fist logo, how many times can I say Iron Fist in 5 minutes? 1/12 Collective in that same color scheme, Marvel logo, nice and bright against the green of Iron Fist. On the side, Iron Fist logo, 1/12 Collective, Mezco. On the back, that's what Iron Fist comes with. Iron Fist, Iron Fist. Pretty promotional shots showing what it can do. On the other side, Iron Fist. On the top, 1/12 Collective in that sleek, glossy black on matte. On the bottom, same thing, but in warnings and logos and choking hazards. Don't put them in your mouth. You take that and you get the windows showing everything you get, but everything's nicely protected in plastic. Look at the flame effects, looking fiery. And then the rest of the box is that same sexy, glossy black on matte Iron Fist. Let's get this open, see what's going on here. Set off the Iron Fist alarm. No tape. Why would it? It's coming straight from the manufacturer. We have a double tray. Is there something sandwiched down here? Of course there is. Half the price is the packaging. A Ziploc bag with the 1/12 Collective, blank spot to write his name, so you can fill this with the accessories, file them away, never lose them. And then the arm for the stand. Unlock. I feel like I'm chasing my own tail here. Where are we going? Oh, get off there. Iron Fist logo for the stand, that same green used. I love it. You can pop the pin from the back, put the stand in, and you have Mezco's heavy ass stand that can hold all kinds of weight. So rugged, so high up in the air when you extend it all the way. I ain't gonna lie, I am so happy with this thing. I love the greens used, I love the yellows, I love that the wraps were added on, the modernization of the costume, a little bit of Mezcofication here and there, but overall, this is, I'm gonna get shit for this. This is my perfect Iron Fist. Short and sweet, it's a green jumpsuit with some wraps at the arms and the legs. But if you remember back to when Mezco first showed this off, the yellow sash around the waist wasn't there. And the biggest complaint was it looked like a pair of pajamas. And it did. But just adding that simple little thing, well, on top of that, listening to the fans and adding this yellow sash is the best thing they could have done for this figure. It totally takes away that underwear look and makes it more of a costume. It is still a skin-tight suit with muscles bulging out from underneath, but something about that, it's classic, but modern. Like I said, just a slight Mezcofication to it with the seams running down and around the Iron Fist symbol on the chest. Down the arms, down the legs, just kind of adding something to the green. It's still quite plain like those classic comics, but just a hint of detail. I also like the added wraps. They act as a separation between skin or extra detail from the plainness of the jumpsuit. Beautiful sculpting, nice wash to it. Get down to the legs, same thing, until it hits the straps of the boots. The wraps kind of go under that, or that's a separate, some kind of weighted Dragon Ball Z type thing going on. And then the nice shoe that brings in the yellows and the greens. And of course, he's going to have ninja toes on it. There's even a tread pattern to the bottom. The overlay on the chest is that rubbery material. Looks just like the Iron Fist symbol, but there has been some lines added just to break it up slightly. And then the costume has a collar up at the neck, which is where collars usually are. But it turns into this rubbery top material. At first I thought, man, that kind of gets in the way of the chin, but then I realized it's better like that to be a collar and kind of thick than just have the material end and kind of frayed or sticks up. I like the aesthetic. I wish it was just a bit smaller. The sash wraps around very, very tight. There's no moving this around. You come down to the sash parts, and those are wired. That's great. You can get it sweeping in the wind or in his action direction, because that ties into the ties on the back of the mask. I wish these were kind of the same thing, but these are plastic, rubbery, set in this position. They will always be flying out from the back. But that's okay, because the mask looks damn fantastic. I usually have a problem with characters with masks because of the texture on the actual cloth doesn't match the plastic of the head. But in this case, they did add some texture to it, enough to match up to here to the naked eye. I am sure in the camera it's like, that doesn't look like anything like that. In person, in regular lighting, yeah, it seemed to match up pretty well. Then there's the realism to the face. Skin tone, a bit of translucency, some lip color, some hair poking out the back. But it's the eyes, the whited out part in those black, thin designs going up and pointy. It just completely works. I never know how much of an Iron Fist fan I am until I get a great figure of it, and then I'm suddenly the world's biggest Iron Fist fan. But there is some slight drawbacks to a skin-tight costume, at least a costume as skin-tight as this. You can see the cloth dragging into the articulation in points, especially around the elbows and around the crotch. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. In fact, it's kind of realistic to what a guy would look like running around like this. But I felt like they could have pulled it back a bit. You pull the costume tight or down and it looks more natural, but as you're posing it, it's gonna just work its way up into there. It's okay, Iron Fist, I was happy to see you too. And then as always, when it comes to Mezco, I gotta point out the ankles. It is better than some I've messed with in the past, especially that inner tilt. It could be better, or I feel like it should be better, especially for an action posing character like Iron Fist. And I don't ask for this often, but again, taking pictures of Danny here, I would have loved to have some toe joint. The belt does ride a little high. I'd like to see it slightly lower, accentuate the chest more than the crotchal region. Going over articulation, there is a dumbbell joint at the top of the neck. Oh yeah, there's a ball joint at the bottom too, which allows for up, can bury the chin, swivel. Is that a butterfly joint or some kind of... Yeah, I think it's just forward and back. The shoulder hinges up, rotates around, but you're gonna start dragging costume about right there. Swivel at the bicep. Looks like a double elbow. Yeah, okay. Comes up past 90. Swivel hinge swivel at the wrist, wherever you want to go. Ball joint and or dumbbell joint at the mid-torso, and I think at the waist too. Together, can crunch forward, can arc back. Ooh, even some nice tilt and then rotation. I'm guessing ball comes out to the hip, comes all the way forward, back, out. Oh yeah, not completely 90, but can high kick. There's a swivel at the thigh, double knee. Oh, just the muscles getting in the way, so close. You can kick everybody else in the ass, but not your own. It's a dumbbell joint down at the ankle, can go back, can go forward, tilt in, tilt out. For accessories, Iron Fist comes with 2 fists, then there's 2 relaxed hands, 2 flat palms, of course, along with 2 kung fu type hands, and then there's 2 grip hands. Mezco's hands are a bit soft, makes it just a dream to pop off. Then when it comes to the fire effects, I either forgot about it or wasn't paying attention in the first place, but they are actually hands. I thought they'd go for the old slip the fire over the fist thing. Nope, there is a hole for the wrist pin to plug in. That is great. You don't have to worry about it slipping off, falling off. I love it. With that, you get 2 fire fists, and then a set that has a flat palm on the left with a short flame, and then an alternate right fist with a longer flame. I have noticed that the longer the fire gets, the fire trail going out behind, the harder it is to plug in. I guess because you're trying to hold this and the fire's coming up and getting around and you're trying to plug it in and do so many things at the same time without stretching the material, but it does eventually plug on. Could this get any better? It could, because finally there is an alternate hand fire fist thing that has a dragon head on it with a super long flame trail. All of these have a nice transition from red to orange to yellowish color, nice and flamey, but it took me a minute to realize that was actually a dragon. Is that a big fist or what the hell's going on there? It takes me a minute. There's this 3-stick weapon connected by chains, and it's actual metal chain. There's some swing to it. And of course it's going to be the yellow and green color scheme of the figure itself. It's Iron Fist! I wish there were some nunchucks in this same design, but at the same time he's probably going to be rocking the flames in my display. Mezco's also pretty good about giving us alternate heads. Besides the fantastic masked head, there is an unmasked Danny head. With that, always nice. As the Facebook kids would say, it's so satisfying. Then the other one just pops right on. Beautiful. It's a nice sculpt. It's a nice look. It's got the same hair sticking out. I like the blondness of the hair, the slight gleam to the eye. It's cool, but Get back on there. Iron Fist stands at 6 3/8 inches tall, which puts him perfectly in scale with other Mezco offerings like the comic book style Black Bolt or the more realistic Netflix Punisher. That does make it a bit larger than the Marvel Legends Iron Fist, though. They did make him awful scrawny. Because that works, I think. Bring in the old tried and true Marvel Legends Black Panther, this isn't bad. I think you could fit this into your Legends display if you wanted to. Huh. That kind of works too. Here's the Marvel Legends Netflix style Danny Rand and Luke Cage. So at the end of the day, I love it when a Mezco shows up on the doorstep and just completely blows me away. Iron Fist is one of those characters that I don't think about a lot, so maybe that makes it even more special when I get an awesome figure of him. Because when I do, it's automatically, oh man, why don't I have more Iron Fists on the shelf? He's going front and center. And Mezco did an amazing job with this. They didn't overcomplicate it, they almost oversimplified it, but thankfully they course corrected and we got this. That's awesome. I don't know, it's the lemon and the lime, the wraps, the thrown in flame red color. The design just translates into action figure form perfectly. I would definitely like to see Mezco take on that old classic big ass collar slipper look. Speaking of that collar thing, you gotta have some kind of supernatural powers to even look over your shoulder, see around corners and stuff, get into cars. That would suck. But as is, what I've gotten, what I'm been playing with for the past several hours, I'm happy. This is now my Iron Fist. I like the Marvel Legends one. I love this. So if you enjoyed the review, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus if you're interested in seeing videos early or just in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. Now I just have to decide which flame options I'm gonna use. And which is a terrible problem to have, right? Oh no, they gave me too much stuff. How about some small flame for the left and then bigger flame fist? I love the dragon, but in a display where I have a lot of yearbook type poses, this will work better. So much presence.